Ananas, scavengers. Pineapple here. Today, today we're reading a book because, you know, that new thing that I'm doing. This is the book we're reading. And BC face is frozen again. Alrighty. Keep working for me. Please. This is the only software I can afford. Now we shall read the big brag. Book. About two politicians. Hmm. My rabbit felt mighty important that day. Up the hill in the sun where he lay. He felt so important up there in that hill that he started in bragging, as animals will. He boasted out loud as he furrowed his chest. All the beasts in the world, I'm the best. Land and on sea, even up in the sky, no animal who lives who is better than I. What's that? Growled a voice that was terribly gruff. Why do you say such ridiculous stuff? Rabbit looked down and saw a big bear. I'm the best of the beasts, said the bear, and so there. You're not, snapped the rabbit. I'm better than you. Pooh! Bear snorted again. I say pooh. Talk mighty big, Mr. Rabbit, that's true. How can you prove it? Just what can you do? The rabbit. Now what can I do? Thought, and he thought. Then he finally said, Mr. Bear, do you see these two ears on my head? So keen, so sharp, and so fine, no ears in the world could hear farther than mine. The bear grunted as he looked at each ear. You say they are good, but how do I know just how far they can hear? Prove my ears are the best. Here and watch me, I'll prove it by test. And he stiffened his ears till they both stood up high, pointed up straight at the blue of the sky, stretched his ears open as wide as he could. Shh! I'm listening, he said as he stood. Listened so hard that he started to sweat, and the fur on his ears and his forehead got wet. For 7 long minutes he stood, then he stared, and he said to the bear, Do you know what I heard? You see that a mountain? It's 90 miles off. There's a fly on that mountain. I just heard him puff of the fly. Hi, sir, it's quite hard to hear when he's 90 miles off, but I heard it quite clear, so you see. It's perfectly true that my ears are the best, so I'm better than you. Bear for a moment just sulked as he sat, for he knew his ears couldn't hear things like that. So Rabbit, he thought, made a fool of me. I but prove I'm better than he said. So he said to the rabbit, You hear pretty well. You can hear 90 miles, but how far can you smell? I'm the greatest of smellers. Let's see, brag, see my nose. This nose in my face is the finest that grows. This can smell anything both far and near. With my nose, I can smell twice as far as you hear. You can't, snapped the rabbit. I can, growled the bear. And he stuck his big nose way up in the air. Wiggled that nose and he sniffed and he snuffed. He wagged that nose and he whipped and he whuffed. More than 10 minutes he snapped and he snuffed. And he said to the rabbit, I've smelled far enough. Right, said the rabbit. Come on now and tell. Exactly how far is the smell that you smell? Oh, I'm smelling a very far smell. Way past that fly on that mountain out there. Smelling smelling past great many mountains beyond 600 miles more to the edge of a pond. Way, way out there by that pond you can't see is a very small farm, and on the farm there is a tree. On the tree is a branch. On the branch is a nest. Very small nest, where two tiny eggs rest. Two hummingbird eggs, only half an inch long. My nose, said the bear, is so wonderfully strong. My nose is so good that I smell without fail that the egg on the left is a little bit stale. That is a thing no rabbit can do. So you see, I'm better than you. I was so keen that it just can't be beat. What's that? Called a voice from way down by his feet. Bear and the rabbit looked down at the ground, down at the sound. They saw an old worm crawling out of the ground. Now, boys, said the worm, you've been bragging a lot. You both think you're great, but I think you are not. You're not half as good as a fellow like me. You hear and you smell, but how far can you see? Now I'm here to prove to you big boasting guys that your nose and your ears aren't as good as my eyes. Little Worm cocked his head to one side. He opened his eyes. He opened them wide. They looked far away with a strange sort of stare, as if they were big, two holes in the air. The eyes of that worm almost popped from his head. He stared at her until his eyelids got red. That's enough, growled the bear. Tell the rabbit and me, how far did you look and just what did you see? Oh, boys, the worm answered, that look that I took was a look that looked farther than you'll ever look. Looked across the ocean way out to Japan, for I could see farther than anyone on earth that has that. I know. I looked past Japan, then I looked across China, I looked across Egypt, I took a quick glance across the two countries of Holland and France. Then I looked across English and also Brazil, and then stopped there. I looked much farther still. Kept looking and looking till I looked around the world and right back to this hill. So on this hill, since my eyesight's so keen, the two biggest fools that have ever been seen. The fools I saw were none other than you, who seem to have nothing else better than do than sit here and argue who's better than who. That little worm gave his head a small joke, see, the hill and went back to his work. The end. Now to put it back on the shelf. That was a good video. Excellent. See you next time, scavengers.